Welcome back, everybody, to Out at Reese's podcast. I'm your host, Reese Shalvis. Joining me, we got Zarriah. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, Zarriah is a local artist from Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake.
So, were you born and raised here?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So, what part of Salt Lake have you kind of grown up in?
Salt Lake, and then
Just the main kind of area.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you traveled much outside of it?
Yeah. Actually, for my mom's job, we moved to Ohio when I was in 4th grade, and then from Ohio we moved to the Bay Area, Northern California, and then we moved back here.
So, where's been your favorite spot to live?
Ohio.
Ohio?
Yeah,
I've never
liked
been out
Ohio.
there.
It's nice. It's kind of weird being used to the mountains, out here, and then you go there, it's just kind of flat,
Right.
kind of like hills.
Yeah, I've just seen a lot of the memes on like TikTok and Instagram and stuff. Like that.
Yeah.
But it looks cool. It looks nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah. So, just tell me what made you what brings you here today? Like I know you had a message you wanted to share and kind of go into some of your story.
Well, as everybody knows who listens to my music and stuff like that, it'll be 1 year in February that I dropped my album, and I left a lot of unanswered questions.
Right.
Because my album's about my daddy issues.
Is this the one titled Pain?
Yeah.
Okay. I was listening to that a little bit before you
Thank
came
you.
up.
Yeah.
Amazing voice, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I just wanted to answer everybody's unanswered questions and kind of tap into where I'm at now in life and what my next projects are going to be.
Right.
And where I'm at today. So
okay, so you mentioned earlier you've been doing music you started making music since you were 17.
Yeah.
And singing since you were 3?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So what got you into singing?
You know what? I don't even know. I just loved it. Like I just would go around the house and sing the movie Annie. And then I'm a big Justin Bieber fan, so I started singing his song Baby. Yeah. My little babysitter was like, that kind of sounds good. You should keep going. And then I kind of found my voice, and I was like, dang.
Did you do a lot of lessons?
No.
No, not really?
No singing lessons.
Dang. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, no singing lessons.
That's really not even like late, or not even kind of later in your life at all?
No.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Thank you.
So what made you decide to start making your own music? Like what kind of transpired to put you in this direction?
I will say what I've been through as a child in my childhood, all the things I've been through with like my parents, their divorce, back to like stepping into my daddy issues, things like that. As a little girl, I just felt like my dad didn't really support my music journey. So I used to tell him, that's okay, I'm going to drop an album called Pain, and then let's see if you support me. And that's exactly what I did.
So did it almost feel like kind of an outlet as well, just from all the, all your past experiences and everything you've gone through? Yeah,
100%. 100%.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So what do you mind going into some of the daddy issues that you were mentioning at all? If you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just here on this podcast to let everybody know, like, you're not alone. Mental health is real. And I think that's where my daddy issues started. I think I think my depression, to be honest, started with me in the womb because my dad got locked up and he didn't get to watch me be born. He got to watch all my other siblings be born. Mm-hmm. So it's something I hold on.
And it's kind of like that kind of disconnect there from, especially from the rest of your siblings as well.
Yep. So I just think it really did affect me because I believe in like babies in the womb. They can feel energy.
Oh, for sure.
So I feel like it really affected me. Now that I'm older, I'm like, dang, that really messed me up mentally.
So how long from when you were born throughout your life did you go without him?
I will say he got locked up for 5 years, but my mom used to do visits in the prison. Okay. So I knew who my dad was, but the first 5 years of my life, I grew up in the penitentiary pretty much. So, yeah, it wasn't like I was at home, my mom and my dad. It was just we would fly to Florence, Colorado, see my dad for a couple hours, come back to Utah, and that's what we would do every weekend since I was 5.
So when your dad got out, what kind of transpired from there for you guys either rebuilding your guys' relationship or, what kind of happened after that point?
I used to be a daddy's girl, and then I was so little, I don't remember. I know it was like cupcakes and flowers. Everything was good. They had my little brother in 2007. And then I will say after he was born, by the time my brother was maybe 3, 4, 2, that's when it got bad. And I'm a mommy's girl, so my instinct was to protect my mom and
Right.
protect my little brother because I didn't want him to go through what I was going through. So I would say after my little brother was born.
That's interesting. So with your mom raising you essentially on her own for the first 5 years or so, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel like that's affected you versus if your dad had been there for the first 5 years?
I think it emotionally affected me because I always used to say when my dad got out, I'd be like, Mommy, Daddy, how come we can't be like the families on the commercial? And they would say, oh, that's just make believe. That's not real what you see. And I'm like,
Right.
well, dang, I want to be like that. And they're like, no, that's just acting. So I think I had that wish in my back pocket, like, dang, I just want a family like the commercials.
I know it's kind of sucks that the media or just anything online will try to portray such a false kind of life that
Yeah,
is really rare to truly see happen.
Yeah,
And
I
not
agree.
just with father and mother, but also just
Right.
friendships, relationships. They try to make
Yeah,
relationships look perfect,
I
or even
know,
just
right?
when people post about their social media life and everything, they
Yeah,
put on such a false like, look how perfect my life is, when really they're dealing with so much
a
stuff.
lot. Back to that when you said people have a different life on social media. I had to do a social media cleanse when I was in the process of my album. I just unfollowed like Kim Kardashian, like all these
Right.
and I'm like, I can't look at this because it's making me like have low self esteem, and I'm
Exactly.
like, it's just not worth it. And I'm trying to be healthy, and this album's already heavy as it is,
Right.
so it felt good.
Seems like the low self esteem is a really common occurrence now, in especially in the younger generation,
Oh
due
yeah,
to these social media
for sure.
models and stars and such.
I agree.
Yeah. So so in this album Pain, where besides the general point around your relationship with your father, where in more depth, what really drew the inspiration for you to make each song and the titles of each song? Because I was reading through over some of those,
Yeah.
and
Back to my inspiration, Justin Bieber. I watched his podcast, his interviews, and I'm like, dang, even his YouTube series, I was like, he's been through a lot and now he's just coming out about it. I need to make a podcast / interview about this. So I will say he really inspired me
right.
to put one foot in front of the other and get it out there, get it off my chest. So,
Oh yeah, and
yeah.
I definitely think a good role. So would you? Well, actually, real quick, do you feel like Justin Bieber was one of your biggest role models growing up, just going through
Yeah.
your life as someone to look up to and
Yeah.
kind of guide you in certain directions?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. I've been to all his concerts. Little. There's actually videos of me on YouTube singing Justin Bieber on my way to school
Oh,
in first
really?
grade every day. So yeah, I would say for sure. Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
What would you say people who feel like they don't have someone to look up to, especially maybe a father or a mother who they feel like was never really there for them? What kind of advice would you give to them to kind of keep going and maybe to find what they're looking for?
I would honestly tell them take positive risks. Don't feel like you're alone because you're not alone. Because mental health issues, it's bad. Like it's real. People think it's not real,
Right.
but it is. It's not just like hitting your toe on a table and you're like, ow, it's gonna go away. Honestly, if someone were to ask me any kind of advice that they would want me to give them, I would say keep your head up, keep yourself busy, because if you don't keep yourself busy and you're just in a room in the dark, you're gonna get
Right.
more depressed and
Exactly.
you're gonna feel like you don't have a purpose in life.
And the more you try to bury those emotions, it seems it just will start kind of rooting itself inside of you, just to
Yeah.
grow bigger and bigger.
Oh yeah.
Until it sprouts out,
Oh
like a tree
yeah.
or like
Yeah,
bamboo or something.
literally. Yep.
It's really hard to deal with, and
Yeah.
how have you, when you've gone through your most oppressive states, and when you're just feeling the most down you've been in your life, what would you do to kind of get over those emotions?
I would say I go through phases. Normally, I'll go write a song about it. I'll just put my AirPods.
Song.
I'll just put my AirPods in. I have in my files in my email little old beats I haven't recorded yet, and I'll be like, maybe I can use this beat for what I'm going through right now, and I'll just sit
kind of feeling
and
the
write.
vibe, and
Yeah,
like, okay, I like this. This works. This works.
Yeah, so I'll honestly write it on a paper, sing it, because if I sing it and belt it out, I can get it off my chest.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I have moments where I'm like, I can't do it anymore. Like I've had thoughts of committing suicide. That's not good. Now I'm on medication. I got the help that I needed. And I would say now I can just put a movie on, cuddle with my dogs, FaceTime my mom, watch some funny videos that are in my family. We're just a goofy family. So
that's awesome to hear. Like being able to see people truly come from a dark place and genuinely say, you know, I'm doing good today. You know, I'm doing good right now. And despite, you know, no matter how far people go, people always have setbacks, you know.
Right.
Like I've definitely had certain times in my life where I was at rock bottom.
Yeah.
And while I feel I've come a long way from that point, there's definitely times where I almost feel like I'm back down to that point.
Oh, yeah.
But then you realize when it clears up a lot quicker than it did back then, you're like, you know, I am doing a lot better than I was back then.
Yep, it's definitely not easy.
How did you for your first signs of when you noticed that you were suffering from depression and whatever else it was going on, you know, in your mind? How did you kind of notice those signs or figure them out? And how did you how long did you experience those before you finally decided I need help and I need to reach out?
I was just very fatigued. I was like, music's my purpose, and it stopped being a purpose for a minute. And I said, I'm normally passionate about music and stuff, and I don't have like that light in me to want to go to the studio, write another song. I just want to sleep all day, not have an appetite, just sleep my life away pretty much. And I'm like, this doesn't feel good. Or I tend to keep a lot of emotions in. So if something triggers me, especially if me and my mom are in an argument, it'll burst out.
Yeah.
And I'll make threats. And I'm like, you know what? F this. I'm done. And then I'm like, you know what? That's not the way to go.
Exactly.
That's what my aunt will tell me. And I'm like, I would have to make myself write a song. Mm-hmm. Or I would even take a hot bath. And then even my mom, she did the research. She's like, I think you need some help. Went to the hospital. I think the worst thing that really had me emotional was when the doctor gave me the paper. And I looked at my mom and I was like, how come I'm answering yes on all of these? That's when it like really set in. And I was like, damn, I'm depressed. And then I got my medication and it did help. So
wow, that's amazing. That's extraordinary that you had the support system around you to help you realize it as well, because I feel like there are people out there who they don't have people like that to help them through
at all. You know? Yeah, at all. And it makes me sad because I have a good heart. I'm a good human being. So I don't want people to feel alone. Mm-hmm. And that's why I wanted to bring this message to this podcast, because a lot of people are like, dang, I don't have anybody to talk to.
Right.
I don't have a support system. I want to take my life. But I'm just here to tell everybody watching this that you're not alone. And it's okay to have mental health issues. You can get the help that you need to get back on your feet, to bring that happy spirit out of you that person might have always had. Exactly.
And also anyone who feels like they can't open up about it to maybe family, friends, or people around them, there's always an emotional support hotline you can call or even text, you know. And there is actually a foundation. I did a charity for them a couple years back called the Center for Suicide Awareness.
Oh, cool. I never heard of that.
Yeah, they have a 24/7 hotline. You can text, call, you know, whatever you're comfortable with. They won't pressure you. It's just there just for someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people to know that, you know, and bring awareness to the amount of resources that there are available for people to use, you know, when going through whatever it is they're going through.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. People, I don't want them to be afraid of because I think people's biggest fears when they try to dial that hotline or even do the text message one, that they don't want to get taken away and go to a
Right.
psych ward. So then it prevents them to
Right.
call or text them.
Put in hospitalization, and
Yeah.
then they feel like their life's over, and
Right. And then some people even feel embarrassed.
right, exactly. And but the thing with about these hotlines is they are confidential
Oh,
as
yeah.
well, and if people can realize that, maybe they can start to open up to the idea more of reaching out.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And if you whatever you need to do, right? If you need to talk to that hotline until you have the confidence to start opening up to the people who love you and care about you, so they can start entering your support system as well. I think it is super important.
Yeah, I agree. It's very important. Yeah, very important.
So, what would you say for people who, besides the hotline, and if they feel like they don't have a support system, how would you feel, or what would you recommend to people who need help reaching out and just finding the strength to actually make that first step?
I would honestly tell them to network. Like, go to the coffee shop. If you're in school, go do your homework in the coffee shop, meet new friends, like, meet people. Even like me, I have social anxiety. I can't sit nowhere by myself. I feel like everybody's thinking about something about me in their head. So say that person asking me for advice had social anxiety, I would say make a positive risk and go to the coffee shop, go to the library, even go outside and sit at the park, have your own picnic, just go meet people. I would just network as much as possible.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you never know what opportunities might open up as well. Like,
Yeah.
I hear so many stories of people when they're in a hard time, in their life, whether it's financially, mentally, emotionally, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They always end up meeting someone when they just go out to network or just make friends or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they either find the support they're looking for or just an opportunity that changes their life for the better.
Yeah,
You know what
for
I'm saying?
sure. Yeah. I just think, I'm personally a shy person. Unless I know you, then I'm comfortable. But
Right.
I would say one of my models is take a positive risk. And I would say, just do it. Just do it. Like, don't sit at home. Don't mope around. Hang your face. If you honestly, like, as a human being, you should do something that you're not comfortable doing because it might boost your
Oh,
confidence.
yeah. And one thing I think is also important to remember, along with mental health, is I believe physical health goes hand in hand with mental health.
Yeah.
If you're taking care of yourself, eating healthy,
Right.
drinking plenty of water,
Right.
I think that has a lot of contributing factors to
Yeah.
how it kind of reflects your mental health as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's obviously not you do this, you're suddenly better.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time and
Yeah.
practice and working on yourself, but
Oh, yeah.
it helps give you the boost, to actually, and the strength to actually, continue your self-improvement journey.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I would even tell people to meditate, even if they don't
Meditation works wonders.
Yeah.
It's crazy. People wouldn't think so either. A lot
know,
of people
right?
just think, like, meditation, like monks do that, right?
Yeah.
But it genuinely is like, it can heal your mind because it allows your mind to open up like neuron pathways that,
Yeah, for
that
sure.
are never used.
Right.
And it can give you new perspectives on not just things that you're, looking for, but things about yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
And truly help you in that.
That's something
way.
I'm like starting to really tap into because my mom's big on energy and meditation. I think it was because I was like really little at the time. I'd be like, "Ugh, why do you do that?" I would laugh because I'm like, it's too quiet. Like,
Yeah.
But now, like, as I'm getting older, I'm like, it helps me with my mental health issues and
Yeah.
depression, just getting a peace of mind. And so that's something I've been really tapping into.
Right, and a lot of people mistake meditation for just sitting with your legs crossed, fingers up, going, whatever. But, like, really, meditation it's all personalized. Like, you got to figure out how it works for you. If I just sit there and try to close my eyes and think, I can't really get into the meditative state. But if I'm, like, kind of out in a nature environment and I just kind of close my eyes, just listening to all the sounds around me, really grounding myself to nature and the world around me, then I could start having these, feelings of clarity on my
Oh
life.
yeah,
And
for sure.
super. I think that's another good thing is like going out in nature. It's
Oh
so
yeah, for
healthy.
sure. Sometimes I'll even go on a mountain drive, like especially in Utah, the mountains here are beautiful. So before it starts snowing, all the fall leaves, like the colors,
Right. Oh,
I'll
amazing.
just go play a playlist, get a coffee, and
And
just
just
look at the view.
right. And that's like it's amazing what it can do. And
Yeah.
like my favorite season is spring
Oh,
because it just
nice.
feels the most alive to me
I
because
could see
everything's
that.
regrowing from like a harsh
Yeah.
cold winter, you know,
I
and
didn't think about
the
that.
colors, the flowers, everything. It's when I like to go hiking the most
Oh,
because
nice.
feeling
Yeah.
the energy from the forest and
Right.
just nature in
Smell
general.
the fresh rain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The waterfalls and
Birds
the rivers.
chirping.
It's amazing. I've seen all the little butterflies,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I agree. I do like hikes. I do like hikes.
Have you been on a lot here in Utah?
I wouldn't say a lot. I guess maybe like 4 or 5. Yeah, like maybe 4 or 5 because it depends on my mood. But
Right.
yeah, I do like a good hike.
Yeah, kind of on that topic with how you said you took like a kind of a social media cleanse
Yeah.
a couple years ago. This is where I found my love for nature and hiking.
Oh, nice.
This was when I was at another low point in my life, and I decided, man, technology's unhealthy for me, like
Right.
social media and everything. So I actually took a 21-day technology fast.
Nice.
It was
That's
like
good.
I turned off my phone and my computer, everything. I still use my phone for work, and
Yeah.
and then I'd allow myself 10 minutes a day to just stay connected with friends and family.
Yeah.
But other than that, it'd be turned off, and I feel like I really discovered a new, version of myself that
Right.
I never thought possible. And
Yeah.
but when I thought I hated hikes, now I love them.
You're like, I love it.
It's like my second favorite thing to do, and it's I think if anyone can just like take a moment to take a break from all the media, all the content they're consuming online,
Yeah.
and just like really learn to appreciate what's around them.
Yeah,
I truly
agree.
believe that it can heal
Yeah,
tremendously,
I agree.
on your mind.
And it's like a form of natural healing too.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like really focusing on you. Focus on your deep breaths, your mental health,
Right.
anything in life you need to focus on. Just a natural healing process.
Right, and exactly, and I feel like another mistake that some people will make is they'll 100% just rely on the medication. Right?
Yeah.
Which medication
Oh, yeah.
works wonders, right? If you use
Yeah.
it right and responsibly, it definitely can help you. But also, there's other things you'll want to do alongside it, right? Like
Yeah.
obviously, like I said earlier, eating, drinking water, and then like just going out in nature and exploring yourself.
Yeah,
as well.
I
And just-
agree. I think it could be dangerous when anybody takes advantage of antidepressants because there's different doses, and then
Mhm.
I feel like it can almost make your mental health worse sometimes if you take advantage of it because it's like you just depend on a pill. So then
Right.
it's like enabling your feelings. You're not gonna know how to go out there
Mm-hmm.
and do it by yourself mentally. It's almost like a exercise for your brain.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think people should enable their brain.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm actually getting ready for another technology fast here.
Oh, nice.
I plan on doing this whole, big documentary on it, shoot for it,
Cool.
because I'm also super passionate about mental health and
Nice.
self improvement. So
Good to know.
this was also super cool to have you on, and I look forward to seeing what you do as well in the future
Thank you.
with your music and just the message that you like to share and
Thank
everything.
you. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, that was one thing. Everybody keeps asking me if me and my dad are on good terms. Yes, we're on good terms now. He actually came to my very first performance in February when the album dropped, and he cried. And he was just speechless.
That's awesome.
And he said, dang, you really want to do this music stuff? I'm impressed. Good job. And gave me a kiss on my cheek. And now we're great.
That right there is probably was absolutely an amazing moment for you. And
Yep. I was like,
was this
wow.
February this year? Or it's not
2022.
Even February yet. I was like, is it not even February? But that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep. It was February 2022 when I dropped the album. But I'm just glad that there was a happy ending
Oh yeah.
towards it all instead of me being like, oh, we argue or oh, I hate my dad, because that's something I used to use the word hate really, really bad.
Yeah.
And I worked on it. So Nope, we're on great terms now, and
That's awesome.
yep.
That's so cool. That's literally like amazing to hear.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It feels good. So yeah.
Especially, I'm sure it feels good to let everyone know as well.
Yeah, I'm glad that everybody can know that message now, so they can stop asking the questions.
Yeah, the word hate is really. I try really hard not to use it, and it
Yeah.
was just within the last year I realized, man, I use that word a lot too.
Yeah.
People even say it over little dumb things, right?
I know.
Like, oh, I hate how this cap is on this water
Right.
bottle. It's like you hate the cap. Like,
Yeah.
like what? That's pretty strong. To
Like
just
putting a lot of
hate.
energy
Right,
into
exactly.
something dumb.
It's like, even though it's like a lot more like natural and subconscious, they do it right. They
Yeah.
don't really put much thought into it.
Right.
But the true like meaning behind hate is where it really has the impact and can over time kind of be not good for someone's mind if they
Right.
are always using that word, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
There are sometimes though I'll see something, I'm like, because it's something really bad, I'm like,
Yeah.
I genuinely hate this thing. Like, this is not good at all.
I know, I get you. That's like me. I'm deathly afraid of birds. I'm like, oh, I hate it. I
Right.
hate birds. But I'm like, no, I don't hate it because I love animals. They're a living
Yeah.
thing. It's like I don't like them because I'm really deathly afraid of them, and they're just everywhere. But it is what it is.
You said you had a dog?
Yeah,
What kind of dog?
I have a teacup Chihuahua and I have a pit bull.
Pit bull?
Yeah.
Is he pretty big?
It's a girl. No, she just turned 1 in November.
Oh, so she's still kind of a baby.
She's
a
still
little
growing.
bit.
Yeah, I don't know how big she's gonna get, but she's a sweetheart.
They got a strong bite.
Yeah, I know they
That
lock.
scares me, but they're the sweetest.
I know,
they're some
I
of the
get
sweetest
it.
dogs.
I know it's my boyfriend's dog actually, but I live with him now. I moved in with him
Oh,
this
okay.
year. But yeah, it turned into my dog now.
So is your Chihuahua living with you and your boyfriend? then?
No, not anymore. She loves my grandma's house. She just has an old bougie soul. And I'm like, do you want to go to grandma's house? She's just over there getting spoiled, eating all day.
Sounds like it's all Chihuahuas.
Yeah. So I'm like, she's happy there. Go ahead.
That's awesome.
So that's where she
so
loves
funny.
to be. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a dog, Macy. She's actually just out in the other room. She's
oh,
just
cute.
I don't want her to, mess with
Yeah.
stuff.
What kind of dog do you have?
She's a Aradoodle Terrier.
I never heard
breed.
of that.
Yeah, they're interesting
Huh.
dogs. So maybe I can show you her after the
Okay.
podcast,
Yeah,
but-
I love dogs.
Yeah, me too. I also used to have a cat. Well, I still do. She's just at my brother's house.
Oh,
now,
nice.
so-
Cute.
so, yeah, it's been awesome. I love animals.
Me too.
And animals are really good for healing too. Like just
Oh, yeah.
the
It's like,
company, support.
for sure. It's almost, they're like emotional support. They,
Oh,
I
yeah.
will say dogs, cats, they have unconditional love for you. Literally. They don't care if you wake up with your
Right.
morning breath, if you fart, if literally anything. They're right there
They'll
with
give
you the
you
whole
weird
time.
looks, but they still love you.
Yeah. Yep.
I love them. They definitely like. They also can like sense when you're like upset, and
Oh,
going-
yeah, for
like,
sure.
you're crying or something, and they'll like snuggle up against you. Like,
I
hey,
know.
It's okay. And you're like, what?
I know. Sometimes I'm like, why are you just sitting next to me? You can feel my energy, huh? And I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm going to come sit on the couch with you. It makes me
Yeah.
feel so much better all the time. But yeah.
So, besides your music and everything, and what you're working towards, what do you like to do for fun, or what did you grow up doing for fun before you really entered this kind of space?
I did competitive cheerleading for
Cheerleading.
9 years, and
Dang.
I want to go back. I honestly miss it because they have the adult teams, and you can go to worlds.
Is it
everything.
just like, so when you say adult teams, is it just like cheerleading has its own league type of thing?
So
or-
there's like the high school and college level cheer, and then
Right.
there's all-star competitive cheer. So it's competitive cheer that I did 1 year of high school. It was my sophomore year. I didn't like it more because I just like the competitive side.
Yeah.
But it's more just like faster pace.
Yeah.
And then now that I'm 19, I'll be 20 in February. Next Sunday, actually, I'll be 20.
Oh, well, I guess happy birthday
Yeah,
right now. That's early
thank you.
birthday.
Yeah, but it's like the age limit's like 18 to like 35, and people still have all their tumbling and everything, but
Yeah.
it's just like how I miss it if I
So-
want to go back. But
Are those all-star teams, are those still representing like sports teams, or are they kind of their own thing?
each competitive gym has their own gym name.
Oh,
So I
okay.
cheered at Max, and then our rivals, like I would say Fusion, or there's like Utah Extreme Cheer.
So
and
it's
then
not
so
all
on.
just for like football and basketball type teams.
No.
It's kind of their own.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people don't see that. I feel like
I
they don't see that
know.
side of
A
it.
lot of people are like, cheer's not a sport. I'm like, yes, it is. If you go do competitive cheer, you will get jacked up. Your coaches won't care, and you have to still throw your backflip and better hope you land it, or you're going to condition when you're
they
done.
do the craziest things.
I know.
So I grew up in a family that does parkour and free running.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so we'd go to like gymnastics gyms a lot and seeing a lot of the
Nice.
cheer people
Oh,
doing
yeah.
their flips and tumbling. It's like, what? This
yeah,
is crazy.
I actually used to coach parkour and tumbling.
Really?
Yeah, because I was done doing cheer because I
Yeah.
stopped to focus on my music stuff. And I was like, well, I still want to be in it.
Right.
I'm going to go coach now. And then they asked me to coach parkour, so I learned how to do it. So that's scary too.
Yeah.
It's cool, but their flips are crazy.
So how long did you do teaching for?
I would say about 2.5 years.
2.5.
2.5
Dang,
years.
that's not bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like my brother, a couple of my brothers, they used to teach parkour
Oh, nice.
classes and stuff back in between like 2012 to like 2018 kind of
Nice.
era. So
Nice.
it's
Cool.
It was always interesting growing up doing those kind of sports because
I know, right?
you could always impress a crowd anywhere
Yeah.
you went, 'cause, but then you also had the people who'd be like, oh, he's just showing off. It's
Right.
like, yeah, I was just
You're
showing
like,
off.
no, that took a lot of hard
But,
work.
I mean, it was a lot of, it was fun.
Yeah, I bet. I loved coaching too, honestly. I'll probably coach again this year just because I
Really?
I love cheer. Like, I love it. It's one of my other passions.
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, I would say besides cheer, I like boxing
Boxing.
so bad. Like, I love it.
I've never actually done boxing before.
I took one kickboxing class, and when I was little, I used to always beg my mom, I'm like, I just want to do boxing.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you do cheer and you like to do modeling and singing. You're going to ruin your face. I'm like, no, I want to. And I also, back to the mental health things, because I have a temper, I feel like it helps me get my frustration
Get
out.
everything out.
Just sweat it out or even go into the gym. But I might consider myself this year like a resolution, New Year's resolution for 2023.
Yeah.
I think it'll be competing in boxing and just training.
Actually, like fighting other people.
Yeah,
Dang, hey,
because I want to so bad.
that's brave of you.
Yeah.
That takes a lot to step into the ring like that.
I know.
I've been wanting to do boxing. Back in high school, I did.
You should do
I
it.
did MMA. I did
Oh, nice.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Kung Fu,
Cool.
which was pretty
That's
fun.
tough too. It looks tough. I don't know about it, but that's
Yeah.
serious too.
It's-
Yeah, you should do it.
I definitely want to.
Yeah, I would do it.
I don't know if I'd do competing though, but maybe.
No, just maybe.
I've heard a lot of stories about people getting like brain damage.
I
and
know.
stuff, so I'm like, I don't know if I want to deal with that.
I know. That's why I
Just
want to
in case.
give myself like a good couple months to just train, get my endurance up,
Really hard.
and then do competing so
Yeah.
I don't get beamed up in the ring.
Yeah. Well, I heard despite how much training you go through, the moment you do your first ring match, it's
Oh,
like
wow.
90% of your training is out the door because it's just like
Just,
because you
I
really
bet.
have to develop your boxing skill in the training and stuff.
yeah,
But then the actual ring matches, it's like a completely different like.
I
it just-
bet.
you have to train that as well, and it's a lot of work.
A lot of
Boxers
endurance.
have a lot of dedication to
I
it.
know.
It's crazy.
But honestly, if I was like, because I'll be shooting a music video soon, but
Yeah.
say I got beamed up and people ask me, I wouldn't care. I'll be like, you know what? It's my other passion. It is
Right.
what it is. It's okay. I would own it. I'd be like, it's all right.
Do you watch a lot of boxing at all?
To be honest, no. If like was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul?
I think both are boxing.
Both? I
But
can't keep
Jake
up.
Paul, I think Jake Paul's the more like passionate boxer.
Okay,
and
so
stuff.
when I think it was Jake Paul when he did the fight against Mayweather.
Yeah, I
Or
think
was
that
it
one.
Logan?
That one was Logan.
Logan. I watched that fight because I love Floyd Mayweather. I was
Yeah.
like, I gotta watch this.
Want to
That
see him
was-
get his ass beat?
Yeah. And then I found it wasn't a real fight, and I was
It's
like,
like
are you serious?
Right.
But that was the last fight I watched, but I do
Okay.
love the movie Creed. I watch it over and over
I
and
actually
over.
haven't seen those movies yet.
It's so good. Number 3 comes out in March, and I'm like,
Maybe I'll have to watch them before it comes out.
it's
Go check
so
that out.
good. But I've never even seen the Rocky movies.
I saw the first one. I never watched the rest though.
Yeah, see, I have to watch at least a couple Rockies
Yeah.
so I can appreciate the movie Creed.
And it's like the backstory behind
Yeah.
Creed and everything. So, but yeah, it's funny. I'm kind of the same way with podcasting. I've been doing podcasting for a year and a half now.
Oh, cool.
And there's only a couple podcasts I listen to, and not even that often. You know,
Oh,
I
wow.
should listen to more so I can
Yeah.
kind of know how to run them better.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just
do
hard
it.
for me to get through podcasts.
Yeah, I see. I can see that. It's okay though. You have natural talent. You can
I
just
appreciate that.
the questions you're asking and stuff. I'm like, dang, this is some good questions. This is my first podcast. I was just dying to
Were you
do one.
nervous?
No, not at all. I just couldn't wait to get my story out there.
Right.
I was just more passionate.
I know we were
like-
supposed to do this back in December, but
I know.
we both kind of just kept rescheduling.
I know,
Things
we were
kept
going
coming
back
up.
and
We were like,
forth.
all right. Today's the day.
I
We
know.
gotta get this done.
Now I'm finally here. We did it.
And what are your thoughts so far? Your first podcast. What do you think?
I love it. I would definitely do it again. Different time,
Yeah,
different topic. I definitely would do it again.
it's a lot of fun. It's when I said hiking was my second favorite thing. I think podcasting is my number one.
Nice.
I just enjoy, like, my favorite thing about podcasting is just the messages everyone has to share.
Right.
And
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like I learned so much from everybody, and
Cool,
it
yeah, I
also
can
builds
see
my
that.
own confidence because
Yeah.
I'm learning to talk.
Yeah,
if
for
you listen
sure.
back to some of my first podcasts, I was awkward as hell.
Yeah.
I feel like I still am now, but I
No.
definitely feel like I've improved since then.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
and-
Everybody will improve in anything that they
Right,
do.
and that's
It'll come.
repetition's key. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it'll come over time. It's like practice makes perfect in literally anything that you do. So
Exactly.
it could be a podcast just talking.
Right.
This is practice for me, even if I had bigger interviews down the road with my music
yeah.
stuff. We'll say I was on BET Awards and they're asking me questions and I never did one. I'd just be like,
Right.
But now this is like a good practice for me too.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Another way to kind of tie this back into kind of mental health stuff, when it comes to people who are starting to get a hold of their mental health, they're starting to get it taken care of. I've heard a lot of people say, like, I didn't think I'd make it this far, so now
Yeah.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Or they have things they kind of want to do, but they're too scared of, like, I don't know if I could ever do that.
Right.
And I think ultimately, like, even if you feel like you can't do it or have the skill to, I'd say just, like, start it anyways. Or just
Yeah.
step into it anyways. 'Cause,
I
like,
agree.
before I ever started a podcast, I thought I could never do a podcast. Like, that's just not me. I could never do one. And then me and my friends, we started a group podcast. We only ever did one episode, but we did that, and I was like, you know what? That was kind of fun. I want to try hosting one.
Yeah.
I want at least an episode. So we shot a second episode, which we never uploaded, and they let me kind of take charge of it. And it was so much fun. I had my
Yeah.
endorphins going, and so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna start my
Just
own
do
podcast,
it.
just see what happens. And so here I am.
Yeah.
But-
You did it. Now look, how many podcasts have you done?
This would be. I don't know which episode this one's exactly because I have a backlog of
Yeah.
podcasts I still have to upload and stuff.
Nice.
But right now I've probably done close to 30, 35 podcasts
Oh,
around
wow.
there.
Wow, that's good. That's
if,
cool.
if you include my old podcast that I started before this one,
Oh, nice.
which I only did a few episodes as well.
Wow. That's a lot, though.
Yeah,
That's good, though. You're getting them done.
I'm trying. Most of last year was a huge break from podcasting because I started end of 2021 with a co-host of mine, which
Nice.
he's no longer part of the show. He
Okay.
moved to Denver, but
nice.
after we kind of just fell through with the podcasts, I still wanted to do them, but I didn't have the motivation to do them on my own.
Yeah.
And then when the Storm Tour kind of event came to town, and I was traveling with Royalty. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
you've
I
met
know
him.
them. We were actually in the same winter jam together.
Oh, really?
2022 when I dropped my album. Him, Xenotic, Chocolate
Yeah.
Wafer. Actually, that's how I found you. Was I saw Xenotic's podcast, and I was like,
really?
there's someone in Utah. I was like, let me DM him real quick.
Yeah.
I was
You're
like,
actually the first person that reached out to me about doing a podcast.
oh, really?
Oh shoot, I don't know what to say or do.
Oh,
'cause
wow.
I'd never interacted with anyone but friends on podcasts, right? So I was
wow.
like, could I even do a podcast with someone I haven't met yet? Like, that's kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
But you know, like I said, just if you just step into it, just start doing it.
Taking that positive risk.
You'll get confident and natural at doing it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. That's crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I still felt even though I think at that point I'd done about 12 podcast episodes.
Nice.
I still felt very new and not sure about myself when it came to doing episodes.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it's better that it was postponed to this point, so now it can at least run a lot smoother than it would have back then.
Yeah,
you know?
No worries. Yeah.
But yeah, so I just have one final kind of question before we really start wrapping up here. If you had one message, if the entire world was listening and you had one message to share with them, what would that message be?
Phew, that's a good question. Honestly, I'm going to keep it really raw. And I would say take a positive risk and mental health is real. You're not alone.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good message.
Yep. That's what I would say.
That's actually very thought-provoking because anyone who either doesn't know the severity of, you know, mental health and such,
right.
They can kind of, if they hear that, you know, they can think, you know, maybe there is something to it. Maybe it is more serious than I think.
Yeah.
And
back to, because I love X too, XXX Tentacion. I feel like I have a lot of connection with him ever since he died. And one of his messages was too, is he, in his, what was it, his movie on Hulu.
He has a movie?
Yeah.
I didn't know he did a movie.
It's called Look at Me on Hulu. It's good. It's really, really good.
Is it about his life building up to when he died, or did it come out before he passed on?
After he died.
Oh, after he died?
Yeah,
okay.
So it's showing you, but that's why I said in what you just asked me, you're not alone, is that's why I feel like I connected with him, is when he was telling his story. He said, I just felt alone, and that's why he has that face tattoo right here. It says alone. And so I was like, you know what? He's a celebrity, and people who are already famous have a lot of severe mental health issues, and he could say he feels alone. That's why I would say that. Oh,
yeah, and I think that's one of the big, like, kind of like we were kind of mentioning earlier, how the media can be so fake and falsified.
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities, people just think, oh, these guys are perfect, basically.
Right.
They got money. What could possibly be wrong? But they're all, like, struggling with something or going through something or have 100%. Things kind of going on in their lives, you know, and it's overlooked a lot by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, people, and then when they do come out about it, they'll get attacked. You know, they'll be like, oh, you're multimillionaire, you're rich, you got money, you know, whatever you want. Why are you complaining? And it's like, okay,
yeah,
that's not how mental health works, but
at all.
You know?
Yeah, I agree, but yeah.
So, is there any last thoughts you had you want to share with the audience, with your fans, before we wrap up here?
Nope, I just wanted to thank you for giving me this interview. I appreciate it. Letting me hear my story. To all my supporters and my fans, I hope that I answered everybody's questions. Once again, you're not alone. Dial the suicide hotline and even text on the hotline. If you feel like you want to take your own life, trust me, that's not the way to go. Just breathe, paint a picture, cuddle with your dog or your cat. Call your parents if you have your parents, friend, aunt, grandma. Just know that you're not alone and you will get through it if there's anything that you're going through in your life.
And you'll always have someone to reach out to, no matter who or where it is. I appreciate you coming on. This has been awesome. Thank you. I'm going to post all of the hotline information into the description below, and a link to the Suicide for Awareness Foundation, charity, or whatever. This has been a pleasure. It was good meeting you.
Thank you. Yeah, you
awesome
too.
Getting to sit down and talk with you. Where can they find you on social media?
I have a link tree in my Instagram bio. It's Zarriah Aaliyah. I'll spell it out. It's going to sound long, but ZARRIAHAALIYAH.
I'll link that as well.
I was like, it's too long.
But so if you guys want to go check her out, if you want to check out me on social media, it's just out at Reese's on Instagram, or just Reese Shalvis, and I'll link those as well. Once again, thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course, and wherever it is you guys are listening, whether it's morning, daytime, or nighttime, hope you guys have a good one. Peace.